Really made memory.
Hey, Shalom, first and foremost, all praises, glory, and honor goes to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Makakwa Das, double honors to the elder apostles, a great millstone that taught us his truth. Salutation, all y'all can push this word day in and day out, doing this quick lesson on this Eve right here, how she try to go out and celebrate Thanksgiving, which, if you're an Israelite, which she is, but she doesn't know it, more than likely she's a 2/3 that's going to have to come back in the kingdom of heaven as a newborn baby. Because she envies her oppressor, man. She has her oppressor hair color. She has the eyelashes, the umbrellas, the makeup. You know, and this is a aged woman, man. This is a woman more than likely in her 50s, late 40s, somewhere in her 50s, or right at the youngest. I see her at the earlier, right? Oldest maybe the latter, maybe 60s. But, she envies her oppressor. She done worked for this devil for 30 some years. And, she can't believe she got her nigga card pulled. But, that's how they still look at you, man. All right. So let me play this clip.
But those memories are memories of pain, hurt, embarrassment, confusion, and humiliation. We arrived at the restaurant. Shortly after arriving, we only had time to give drink orders. We didn't even get our drinks. And a physical altercation happened between two African American women. We did not know them. We were not affiliated with them. They were at another table. They began to fight. The situation was diffused.
It's laggy for pause there, man. Hey, man, you niggas fuck everything up, man. Always. It's been like that forever. Like, probably going back since the goddamn 50s and shit, man. Because, the niggas that come in the Edomite establishment start fighting, even their own establishments, man. I remember when in my youth, back in early mid 2000, late 2000, here in the DMV, used to have a lot of go-go spots, man, and all of them got shut down, man. All of them, for the most part, because niggas can't act, man. They act like what this Eve is describing in this video, man.
Used by management and other staff members. The management came over to our table and told us that they would not be servicing us tonight. We had to leave. I questioned, are you shutting the entire restaurant down for tonight? No, we're just not servicing you all because y'all like to fight. We became shocked, confused, and he did.
Which, hey, in her defense, I'm gonna have to, side with her because she was minding her own business. She had no affiliation with the other group that was in there squabbling. I'm pretty sure the other group of women that was squabbling, they were younger, way younger than her, probably young enough to be her daughter. Because one thing about Eve, Eve won't let that ratchet shit go until she about like 45. And you can clearly tell, this woman's over the age of 45.
That in front of the entire restaurant, in front of all the other patrons. No one else was asked to leave but us. It put us in a negative spotlight. And as we got up to leave,
you could tell she college educated and shit.
Felt like,
a single mother. Well, she could be married to some simp nigga.
We were doing the walk of shame. Law enforcement arrived, and the other two women, they were already gone by the time law enforcement arrived. So the manager asked me to give a statement. We wasn't involved in this, not affiliated, so why should I have to give a statement? At that moment, that put another light on us, being questioned by law enforcement. And as we were gathering our things to leave, Another staff member cursed at us. It's, I'm still shocked.
Thank you, Ms. Holt. As it has been stated, the facts
See, that's another Eve, the lawyer. You know what I'm saying? More than likely, that's the attorney.
remain. These young women were out having a joyous occasion, something that they frequently do. I'm talking monthly encounters where they frequent different restaurants in Hampton Roads. This has never been an issue. In fact, many of the young ladies have already dined at Cork and Bull. So to have this experience puts them in utter shock. But moreover, something that you might not have heard already were additional facts, such as another employee even shouting at them, saying, "You need to leave." That didn't happen once, it happened twice. And as you might have already heard,
Mm-hmm. So there you have it, man. You know, Eve had to do the walk of shame, man. You know.
my position,
So it's a
we will
long
end it at
video. I'm
this.
not gonna play the whole thing with the attorney. You know, a nigga woman can ramble on for hours. You know. So you know, Esau laughing. Esau like good for her ass. This guy Edomite Duncan McDonald. You know that's a fake name. He says, "No one wants a bunch of loud, inconsiderate Shaniquas in their restaurant, man." You know, and that's a fact, man. You notice he ain't say Pookies. Cause you know, even as wicked as niggas are, the nigga woman, man, is even louder than that, man. And don't ain't nobody got time for that, man. All right, Lord, y'all about should be outside turn ease volume too much. Why? Cause we went off, man. It's unbearable at times. Even the scripture says, man, it's better to dwell on the rooftop of your house than with roughly paraphrasing a brawling woman. I might get that, man. I ain't get that in years. This is Proverbs 21:9. It is better to dwell in the corner of the housetop. All right, which the modern day term for housetop is a roof. Than with a brawling woman in a White House. All right, and that's Eve in a nutshell, a brawling woman, man. I mean, you know that's in Virginia too. You know Virginia, they don't play like Maryland, man. They'll tell you them devils down there. You know, niggas get out of line, they will tell you to get the fuck out of here. All right, they don't do to deal with that. You know, in a lot of these red states, they don't deal with that politically correct bullshit, man, like they do here in these blue cities or blue states. All right, and um, you know, everyone's tired of Eve, man. All right, especially the Eve that's out there. You got some beautiful sisters out here. I ain't gonna hold you, right? You got some sisters out here that got a beautiful spirit. Like yesterday I was helping this one Eve out. You know, she called me Young King. You know what I'm saying? And you know, I could tell she was sincere with it. She wasn't scoffing, because you know we are, you know, princes of the power, but you know we still in subject to this devil, man. We still in a servant mode, man. You know. So, you know, blessings upon her and her household, man. All right. But, you know, for the most part, these Eves, these Satoyas, Shaquans, and so forth, man, they gonna get clipped, man. You know. And guess what? That Eve in the beginning, the older Eve, that got kicked out, did the walk of shame. You know, everybody looking at them funny, like y'all next. Cause the original nigga woman acting a damn fool. Guess what? She still love Esau after, you know, after all that shit, you know. She still loves Esau. That's why, you know, you got certain Jakes, which I can't be mad at them. They be like, man, support black, man. Support black businesses, you know. Or businesses where the majority of the client base or customers or, you know, so-called black. You know, certain niggas do speak that shit and support, you know, nigga shit only. You know, when especially when they go to these different venues, because you know, me personally, man, like I don't even go out to what they call it, little restaurants no more and shit, because you know, I've noticed this is years ago. I noticed like you know, you get the second hand treatment there, like if it's a table full of Edomites sitting next to you, and then you know, and you there with your woman, that's what they're gonna get served first, and they're gonna get, oh, do you need anything else? Cause you know Esau he tips more, but you know it's just the principle, man. I'm like, man, I ain't got time for that shit. Be asking, yeah, sitting down, having motherfuckers looking at you funny. I ain't got time for that shit no more. Okay. So hey, man, it's better to dwell, man, away from these niggas, man. All right. And you know, one thing that Eve said in the beginning, she was celebrating Thanksgiving weekend, cause you know it's the weekend before Thanksgiving. So you know, Jake make this whole goddamn last, you know, about 40 something days of the year about Nimrod and shit. You know, they really be getting into this shit, man. You know, you got a lot of Jakes saying, "Oh yeah, I'm not doing nothing until next year, business wise." All right, so Jeremiah 10:1, hear ye the word which the Lord Yahweh Shem Yahushua speaketh unto you, O house of Israel. All right, so the Lord is speaking. You know, he speaks throughout the scriptures. You know, every scripture is inspired by Yahweh, but this is a direct commandment, man, right? Thus saith the Lord, learn not the way of the heathen, and be not dismayed at the signs of heaven. For the heathen are dismayed at them, man. All right, so you're not supposed to learn the way of the heathen. Hey, you saw that Eve, she's all the way bugged out. It's more than like you got a master's degree, maybe doctorates. You know, she speak all with the king's English. She's you know, bleach blonde hair, the umbrellas, the red lipstick, you know, the red little eyeshadow and shit like that. You know, the mascara, you know, that's a old harlot, man, you know, from the neck on up. You know, sometimes Eve got a face like that, but like a body like, especially in Virginia, right? A body out of this world. So, let's go to her social media. Let's go to her socials to see what she looked like. Okay, this is her. She looked older in that. Oh yeah. This is 10 years ago. Okay, yeah. So she older. So man, look at the proud look, the contacts. She had the bleach blonde hair. Of course, this is her with. Okay, she around my age. She look older than that. So I mean, these women hit the wall fast, man. You know, these women be hitting the wall. All right, yeah, she married to some sim nigga, and of course, right? He's talking about the Obamas. You know, that's not a surprise, right? This is a old maid, man. Okay, you can tell a nigga ain't right. Nigga got no semblance of face, even though that's an old picture from 10 years ago. But you know, Jake got come back for the most part, man. All right. So she went to Cork and Bull, Raw Bar, Chop House, 9 women. See, okay, so they had a big party, man. All right. Our story will be heard. Let's play this video, man.
Somebody break it up.
Look at that shit, man. Them Edomites looking like, look at these animals. Look at these. He's scaring Billy Bob and Baron over there. You know what I'm saying?
Somebody break it up. This is sad, y'all. My
There's
sister circle and I were out
BBLs.
celebrating our Friendsgiving. We arrived at the restaurant. Shortly after arriving, we only had
Look, you finally have look 144. That's the spirit call. All y'all about to me outside. The Lord wanted me to go into this lesson, but you finally had a guy that appeared to be Edomite. He could have been an Israelite for wanted to break that shit up, man. You know, someone with some testicular fortitude, man, to break that shit up, man. We got all these simps. Look at Esau just watching. Look at the Edomite woman standing up. She getting ready to look. They standing up like it's a goddamn WWE match, man. You know, Mark Henry versus some other demon, man. Dwayne Johnson over there. Shout out to D-Lo Brown. Mark Henry versus D-Lo Brown. This nigga woman, man, her back is manly as hell. It look like she could deadlift 300 pounds, man. Yeah, this shit, bitch got her ass out in the air. This is like softcore porn in Esau, man.
We arrived at the restaurant shortly after arriving.
See, this guy had to come break it up, man. You know, some sad shit, sick shit. Like, break that shit up. The police is here. All you gotta do really when a nigga woman act out of line, man, when Eve act out of line, just say police, man, and then Eva get up, man. Eva just get her act straight. The laws are coming. That's all you gotta say. I'm police. Put your hands in the air. So there you have it. I mean, it's easy to say they were together because let's look at this. The bra was like right in front of their table, so it's easy to say they're together. And then you got this big fat Eve. She's too slow. She ain't got the strength to break that shit up. She's trying, but
My sister circle and I were out.
because you see the one Eve, you could tell she's like a light little red bone joint. All right. The 9 Eves. I ain't gonna lie, the Eves in Virginia, they look a little better than the Maryland Eves. Look, you got Benjamin Crump picked this up. He's a 9 career woman too, man, you know. Spent decades to get to where they at now, become homeowners. You know, Eve is a homeowner. Okay. But so, I ain't gonna lie, some of them Virginia women, they look decent though. Them Virginia Eves. Like the one I saw on the left in that clip. She looking alright over there. Look at these Eves, man. But they all got that proud look though, you know what I'm saying? Where they really, these women, they're not even supposed to be out the house without their husband, man. But all these women got multiple niggas they dealing with, right? For the most part.
Legal action. Their lawyer sat down with us. Just because you have employees that might have made a bad judgment one night, that could turn into 2 nights, 3 nights, 4 nights. It has to stop.
The women say the restaurant staff has not reached out to provide an apology or update.
All 9 of these ladies were treated more harshly than the 2 people who were actually engaged in the misdemeanor action.
Their lawyer says they want accountability and justice.
We can say this is discrimination. We can say this violates the Equal Protection Clause. They have said enough, and we're not going to take it.
Treat your customers with dignity and respect.
We did reach out to the owners of Cork and Bull Chop House as well as the general manager for comment, but we have not heard back.
Yeah, that's right outside of Virginia Beach, man. You know, Chesapeake, Virginia. All right. You know. So, hey, man, hey, them race rights are around the corner, man. All
What
right.
was supposed to be a night of fellowship for this group
Yeah,
of
them
women.
Virginia Eves, they look a little bit better than the Maryland Eves. You know, all these women are like older, but you know, they have more of a natural look. The worst looking one is the one that's the leader, that's sitting in the middle and shit with the bleach blonde streaks. She the worst looking one. All right, so it says for the, because you know she's celebrating Thanksgiving. If you celebrating Thanksgiving, it's an automatic. You celebrating Saturnalia, aka Christmas. For the customs of the people are vain. For one cutteth a tree out of the forest, the work of the hands of the workmen with the axe. They deck it with silver and gold. They fasten it with nails and with hammers that move it not. They are upright as the palm tree. It's like it, man. That's going into the Christmas tree, man. You know, you deck it with the ornaments. Because I believe the ornaments are twofold. It goes into the testicles and also, you know, the heads Esau chopped off. Basically, the people that sacrifice. You know what I mean? It's a wicked sacrifice, man. Because you know, Christmas, I believe they say if you don't give a present, you know, back in the, you know, I could be misquoted because it's been a while since we went into this. This is like fundamental. This is like 101. Sometimes you don't go into basics so long it slips. But you know, I believe the origins of Christmas is, you had to give a present, or if not, you know, basically someone was gonna kill you, and you know, it's all Satan worshiping at the end of the day, anyways. Okay. That's where the whole present, the gifts come from, man. You know. They fasten it with nails and with hammers that it move not, man. All right. That's what you see in your gyms, your stores. You're not supposed to have a tree inside your house, man. I believe the scripture says, man, you know, it's a curse, man. You know, you have it in your gyms, your stores, your malls, your houses, especially this time of year, man. But you know, one thing I noticed this time of year I ain't really seen the Christmas lights up yet, so we'll see within the next couple of weeks, man. You know. This Deuteronomy 28:16, cursed shall thou be in the city, and cursed thou shalt be in the field. So even, you know, the tender and delicate woman, man, the once tender, and no longer tender and delicate, the once tender, you know, ain't been tender and delicate in 100 years, man. You gotta say, but the tender and delicate woman, right? It says what? Cursed thou shalt be in the city, and cursed thou shalt be in the field. That shows you that it's not the Amalekites. The Amalekites ain't fighting in restaurants and shit. You know, that's our people, man. This is black culture, which you see right there, man. You know, the one dark skinned girl fighting a light skinned bitch. You know, oh, you think you pretty because you red? You know, fuck you, bitch. Your hair fake. You know what I'm saying? All that dumb shit you be fighting about. All right, instead of building, these niggas destroy each other, man. You know? And they learn that from Esau, man. They learn to hate each other from Esau. So-called white man, he got a lock on these niggas' minds, man. You know? Cursed thou shalt be in the city, and cursed thou shalt be in the field. So, you know, them curses are fucking our people up, man. Okay. That's why like I said, instead of fighting a Sheetamite devil in there, standing up watching. Because, Esau, he did stand up and watch. So that's in case they got to run, A nigga say, what the fuck you looking at, bitch? They'll just get up and run. So they Esau have a head start, the way it is. They just stood up, man. And where's the staff to break that shit up, man? Or security. That's why most spots, they'll have security, man. All right. Then you had 9 black women, man. 9 is excessive, man. Unless they family, man. 9 black women, they speaking wickedness, man. All right. So, she's celebrating birthdays. This is so, this her without the makeup and stuff, man. So Eve just, just won the hell out, man. All right. You just, I mean, to me, it don't take me long to, see, okay, why Jake getting judged. Just go to their social media profile and to the Christian church, So it don't take long, man. You know what I'm saying? You just go on their social media page and you see, okay, yeah, this is why Jake getting jacked up. That's the spirit. Probably, this is the next verse. Proverbs 21:10. The soul of the wicked desireth evil. His neighbor findeth no favor in his eyes. So, ain't no winning this devil, man. These, especially Eve, man. Eve, straighten her hair, blonde her hair. Try to look as Edomite as possible, man, and still lose. Here's the last precept. We're still in Proverbs 3:31. Envy not thou not thy oppressor. Choose not his ways, man. All right. And, Eve has a deep envy for Esau, man. Mainly the so-called white man and woman, but she loved the so-called white man more than the so-called white. She's jealous. She's not a so-called white woman, for the typical Eve. You got a woman as black as Wesley Snipes. That'll throw a fucking blonde wig on her head, man. You know what I'm saying? What kind of sense does that make, man? So we gotta get the hell up out of here, man. I'm gonna end it there, man. Till next time, Shalom.